breaking developments involving North Korea. Tonight they have launched an intercontinental ballistic missile.
Looks like this thing can go about 10,000 kilometers. From North Korea, they could hit most of the United States, so they finally done it.
Interceptor from Alaska on Sunday.
If a nuclear war happens, most people will not be aware right away. 1/3 of the people in the world will be asleep. You may be a long time before you know this started, but you'll find out. So anyway, now, let me tell you about my story. I built a shelter, 20 square feet per person, and shelter 500 people. This shelter is called the Ark II. My name is Bruce Beach. I am the only civilian radiological scientific officer in Canada. The new weapons is almost 10,000 times bigger than atomic bombs. They were used against Japan. People being terribly burned by these weapons. So they had to be protected from the weapons. This is the most key point of a shelter. We're about to make the 90-degree turn, and this is what stops the radiation. Because radiation cannot make a turn. It'll just continue right on into that block wall. As soon as I step under here, we're at the deepest point in the shelter. There's 2 feet of earth, 2 feet of concrete above us, and 14 feet of earth. And again, we have a grill and a steel door that if we wanted to shut them, we could. This shelter is made out of school buses. I got old used school buses, 42 of them. We dug a big pit and put them down in this big pit. And then we've covered them with 2 feet of concrete. I put in the first buses for this shelter in 1980. I did not think we would get this far. This is the children's bunk room. Our rule is we'll take children first, and we have a certain number of women. We are now going to go into the women's washroom. Dee-doom. Heads down, it's a very low spot to go in. There's a steel ladder, see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, you climb up that steel ladder. When you get to the top of the steel ladder, there's rungs that go on up the wall.
Okay.
And you want to use those rungs to stand on the ladder.
Okay.
This is the most dangerous part. It's very crowded up there and stuff is thrown around on the floor.
Okay.
And you gotta step off around that hole and you'll find a sledgehammer.
Okay.
And you take that sledgehammer and there's a bar across the door and you open that door.
With the sledgehammer.
Right, you don't need to come back down.
Okay.
Currently the date that I'm clocking is October 22nd. This life fellow predicts his death every week, every year. I'll be dead next year. Well, that was me. I always said I would live till I was 82, but I missed that point. I went on past, I'm closer than I was. Yeah, I think that's close enough. Everybody happy, okay? Well, I was born in Kansas, but met my wife in Chicago. She and I are very convinced that things are coming to an end. As she says, we've seen it all come, and we're going to see it all go. Some of the things I could tell you, you just could hardly believe that to be true, but I was in the service and I dealt with, I was a control tower operator at one of the 5 fields for the top secret aircraft in the US. One of the things that was at a secret base, you can look this up, called Camp Century. And it was underneath the ice up by the North Pole. It had a nuclear power plant there. And I went out on the ice cap for the survey of that. Well, I'd built 20-some shelters before this particular one. This village was built around the mills. It was called Hornings Mills. My wife's grandfather ran the mill here. That is where the Ark II shelter is built, is on the old mill site. One of the reasons most people did not build shelters is that there was a lot of intellectuals said a nuclear war is not survivable. It was an all-out nuclear war. We have 20,000 weapons in the world thereabouts. And if 10% of those were used, that'd be 2,000 weapons. It would destroy the very atmosphere itself on this planet. That's the end of society, and that's true. And so this could happen this week, this month, this year. Our mission is to help society reestablish itself. This is not the end. We're not looking on all of this as being the end. This is the beginning of humanity.